we're going to read this story. Now, for those of you that don't know, Final Fantasy XIV has released some short stories regarding various things. These are all the stories. This is the website where you can go and find them. And they're actually for free. So this is a very big difference when it comes to Blizzard. You see, Blizzard releases stories, but you have to pay for them. You don't believe me? Go to the website, check out the books. You're gonna pay a fuck ton of money. That said, Final Fantasy XIV is much better and they give you the stories for free. So right here, what we're gonna be doing is read this story called Through His Eyes. Apparently it has something to do with fucking Ascians and shit, so we're gonna do just that. So let's get into it. In a time long forgotten, men and gods were one and the same. And upon the star that was their home, men ruled supreme over the corporeal world within and without which existed the ethereal realm. Throughout the ages, they say, this realm has been called many names, but in the beginning it was known as the Underworld, the place to which departed souls return. As water flows to the sea and rises to the sky before raining upon the land once more, the Underworld was a fundamental part of the circle of life. And for this reason, it was regarded at once with familiarity and reverence by men who, despite their godlike powers, would not claim dominion over it. Wise though they were, they could catch only fleeting glimpses of the realm, channel but a sliver of its power, and do not to control its ceaseless flow. However, among those who abided at that age, there were a chosen few who possessed the affinity with the underworld, and among their number, one stood tall. So I am assuming that this is going to have to do with Hades, Emet-Selch, right? So I'm going to lose my shit and I'm going to simp over Emet-Selch once more. Let's keep going. Let's see what this story has to do about, our favorite Ascian, at least my favorite Ascian. Another idyllic event had descended upon Amarot. Citizens strolled carelessly along the streets of the gleaming capital, identical black-robed figures bathed in gentle torchlight. Some would while the night away, I don't know this expression, sorry, in agreeable company, others retired early to their beds. The illumination served equally well for both. But he had chosen to spend the time alone at the park. Okay, so it is Emet-Selch, reclining upon the manicured lawn. The cowl of his robe had fallen back to reveal locks of white hair. Oh. What? Yo, I know this guy. White hair, which framed the unique red mask covering the upper half of his face, the sole item among his apparel that was his and his alone. Guys, we have seen his face. We have seen a portion of his face. Hold up. When we destroy Zodiark, in that cinematic, you see a guy with a white braid. I'm not sure if it was locks, but it was a white braid down here, right? And he said something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but was this Emet-Selch? Was that Emet-Selch? Holy shit! And the sole item among his apparel that was his and his alone, of course. To see him lazing there, most would have assumed he was simply gazing at the stars or perhaps the glittering towers that seemed to reach for them. The sights that were reflected on his eyes, however, were a far cry from any seen by most men. What he beheld was the ether that comprised all things, radiating life. From the depths of the land to the heights of the firmament, its light shone bright. Here and there, lives that had served their purpose drifted upon the current before suddenly plunging down to the underworld. Smiley face, so I am getting into something to 1H, huh? That he could behold these wonders was not a wonder in itself. Many were blessed with the sight, yet very few indeed were strong in the gift as him. As a man focuses his gaze upon the object of his interest, he needn't but to direct his attention towards the ether to behold all the lives born from the currents. So acute was his vision, he could make out not only the soul, the heart of life, but also discern subtle differences in the hue of each, telling individual lives apart. And by virtue of his transcendent skill, he had often been likened to a descendant of the underworld. Believe and walk in faith, let the light of your soul shine for all to see. Was that the thing that... No, wait. Who said that? Was it Emet-Selch that said that, or was it Forchefeu? Not Horchefeu. Horchefeu is the dig. Horchefeu. Wait, Forchefeu is the dig. He is the father of the twins. Horchefeu is the guy that we love. Okay, the smile better fits a hero. Yeah, we love this guy. It was somebody. I wanna be somebody soon. Wasp, lovely band. Anyway, for a while he continued to gaze up at the sky, watching the dance of ether alone with his thoughts, until the soft rustling of grass announced the approach of another. Noticing this, he shut his eyes tight, as if to will away from the din, but the steps only drew nearer, grow louder and louder, before there finally came a voice overheard. I have heard the Titans. Congratulations, Hades. Or should I say the Honorable Emmet Salk of the Convocation of the 14. If I pretended not to notice, perhaps he will leave me in peace, he thought without much hope. And as expected, but no less to his disappointment, the owner of the voice did not make to leave. Resigned, he grudgingly rolled over and heaved himself to his feet. Having repositioned his scowl, he addressed the grinning visitor with an unconcealed displeasure. There is naught to congratulate, I merely feel the void, one which I would remind you only existed because you refused the honor. Oh! Yo! Holy Flying Testicle Tuesday! So, the Emmet Sulk, the guy that was about to become Emmet Sulk, did not become Emmet Sulk? So this guy became Emmet Sulk instead of this guy that wanted to become Emmet Sulk. So we have Hades becoming Emmet Sulk because the guy that was going to become Emmet Sulk did not become Emmet Sulk. Ha! Got it. Come on. I went to the candidate best suited for the office. Office, okay. Office. New word, office, okay? Office. You find practical use for that, what you see, well, I enjoy the seeing it for its own sake, And what does that say about your suitability for your own office? Perhaps I shall raise the subject in the hall of rhetoric. As he said these words, he glared daggers to his masks, but the threat idle, as they both knew, served only to elicit a snort of amusement from the chief of the bureau of the architect, his close friend, Hythlodeaus. Yo! Holy shit, I need to get my cat inside the room. Ready? Okay, don't bully my cat. My kitten is bullying my cat. Let's get my kitten. Okay, there we go. Let's keep going. Attired in a black robe and a white mask, the man looked entirely unremarkable. Yet, like Hades, he was eminently gifted the ability to behold the underworld. It was a matter of fact, were it purely a question of vision, his was the keeper of the two. Precious little escaped his eyes, which could discern essence and appearance as plainly as night and day. This made him amply qualified for the highest office in the Bureau of the Architect, the institution which oversaw the creation of concepts, and incurably smug. Wait, who is smug? Is it Hythlodeaus smug? No. Who was smug? No. Hades was smug? No, actually, probably Hythlodeaus? I don't know. Irked by Hythlodeaus' unshakable good cheer, he snapped. Hythlodeaus. Okay, got it. Was there something else? And immediately regretted when he saw the man's grin broaden. Oh my god. Okay, so Hythlodeaus is a bully. Emmet saying he's smug. Of course Emmet is smug. Okay. Wait, Emmet says he is smug. Who is smug? Is Emmet the smug guy or is Hythlodeaus the smug guy? As a matter of fact, yes. Have you informed a certain someone of your appointment? Hitler. Okay, got it. Hardly necessary. The memorandum will see to it if the gossips out of in the street haven't already. News pertaining to the 14 is wont to spread quickly. Were you to ask my opinion, I wouldn't tell you such a momentous message warrants personal delivery. Shall I ascertain our friend's whereabouts? It will take but a moment. I did not ask for your opinion, nor less your help. I understand you have pressing tasks and should not keep you from them. For the first time since Hythlodeaus have arrived, the grin faded from his lips. The tilt of the man's head was... what? All but asking how Hades could have known. And though he was certain he would regret answering the unspoken question, in the end he found himself yielding to the interminable silence. With a sigh he continued. A short while ago, you received a visitor from the wards of Lahabria, bro! Lahabred, Lahabra, Lahi, you know? That invariably means you have been tasked with an inspection of considerable import, and by rights should not have time to spend in idleness. That you should seek me at such a juncture suggests you have consultation, or, the mind boggles, a request. Lahabred, indeed. For a moment, Hythlodeaus said nothing, as if mulling over the words, then his shoulders began to shake with laughter. You wound me, old friend! Oh my god! I merely chanced to notice you lying here and wish to offer my congratulations. Wait, what? So Hythlodeaus was the guy that was about to become Mehmet Salk and he didn't? As he continued, his voice took an impish tone, and I dare say, given your new responsibilities, you are even less time to spend in idleness. Of course, you were never one to rouse yourself, save when you deemed matter worthy of your attention. Though said in jest, the uninvited observation did not improve his mood. You have offered your congratulations? Yep, he had the better vision of the Wonderworld. Hythlodeaus? Damn, dude! Hythlodeaus, actually. Wait, is it Hythlodeaus? Yeah, okay, let's go. He said testily, there is naught else, I shall be on my way. Seeing him turn to leave, Hythlodeaus hastily changed his tone. Wait, as you say, I have a consultation for you and a request. Will you not hear me out? Most eminent Mehmet Salk. Bro, Hythlodeaus is a fucking troll. He just said that. Okay, got it. An immortal bird, Hades repeated as they made their way through the restricted area of the Bureau. I don't see a bird. Wait. What do you mean immortal bird? Was it the birdie with the many infinite mouths that wanted to devour and destroy the world? Let's see. Hythlodeaus noted, to be precise, it's not a living being, but magic woven in the likeness of a bird. One possessed of Poisson, healing powers. Okay, never mind. And befits a masterword of the words of La Habria in doing right. It is a thing of beauty. Okay, it's not the birdie that I was thinking of. I didn't doubt it. So what then is the problem? Fire and ice. As I said, it's not a living being. The concept proposed was a magic in avian disguise with his mind. So they're creating a cock out of plastic. Got it. A dildo, if you will. Hythlodeaus stretched out a hand of the enormous gate that stood before them. Soundlessly, the towering door swung open, and Hades found himself wincing at the ear-rendering cry that emanated from within. Furrowing his brow, he stepped across a threshold to be greeted with the sight of a magnificent cock, its plumes fairly afire, circling high in the vault hall. Okay, so it's less of a cock and more of a phoenix, okay? Having marked the creature's undeniable beauty, it took him but another moment to identify the problem. An unmistakable light shining in its heart, his breath caught his throat. Wow! A soul! How? How indeed? Through their mastery of creation magics, men would weave anything into existence, and they could imagine they could bring forth anything that is except for a soul. Huh. As Hades well knew, souls spontaneously manifested within creatures that were born in accordance with the laws of nature. It was a gift from the star itself, long held to be impossible to recreate. No artificial being, no matter how subtly sculptured in the image of nature, could come to possess a soul. Such creations occupied a separate classification known as arcane entities. There was an accident. Fuck, so that's how it starts. I too love Hythlodeaus, by the way, to 1H. During the concepts examination, a drifting soul merged with it, a soul burdened with regret, judging by the being's behavior. It rages against the pull of the underworld. As he listened, Hades kept his gaze fixed on the creature, which flew about in a frenzy. No sooner would it dust itself against the wall in an explosion of broken feathers than it would heal itself and repeat the grisly feat. The self-destructive dance unfolded again and again, with the creature occasionally giving vent to its overflowing magical reserves, or fury, as it seemed to him, as fiery breath. Witnessing the excruciating display, his thoughts poured forth unbidden from his lips. Consumed by the fear of death, it thrashes blindly about. It will know only pain and suffering, and inflict the same upon others. A pitiful existence. Holy shit. Such moving empathy. It's as if you wore the feathers yourself. He waved a dismissive hand. Yes, but what you intend to do with it? Masterwork or no, we cannot, well, leave it as it is. True. There, Hythlodeaus turned to face him, that irritating smile having returned, and then... Right. And again he knew a pang of regret. As it is immortal after a fashion, we have not the ability to return to the underworld. Our efforts would only cause it pain, nay, would require the services of a powerful mage, and I know none more powerful than you. Okay. Once more, he found himself glaring daggers in his friend, whose grin had become broader than ever. But rather than give him the satisfaction of a complaint, he decided that he would make a debt of it. Without another word, he focused his mind, and as he did, his silhouette wavered and danced. Then, all of a sudden, like a shadow lengthening, his form began to swell. Though, wow, through the thrum, what the fuck is thrum of gathering ether? Okay, his thread Hythlodeaus' remarks never ceases to impress me. He knew well that his friends beheld the unbridled power of the underworld pouring forth into his being. In such moments, he felt like he was one with his flow. Though mages were plentiful, not even most powerful of the rest of the 14 could one find one another capable of wielding such power. Would you fucking describe Hades as a mage though? At least in the Greek mythos, not really. More like... No, you know what? You could. But I would go with a scholar more than a mage necessarily. Unless you go with necromancer, but a benevolent nature of necromancy. You know, like, not the guy that will bring the dead back, but the guy that will actually claim the dead and lead them to the underworld itself. Okay, I can see the parallel. Ere long, his transformation was complete and Hythlodeaus was left to crane his neck up at him. Indeed, there is no better candidate. Allow me to congratulate you again, Emmet Salk. He left out a quiet breath, a sigh mingled with laughter. Then he faced the bird and set about his task. No better candidate. Your Radiance. Your Radiance. The voice rumbled from a distance, impatient and insistent. Drowsily he opened his eyes and through the haze of sleep, inadvertently focused upon the flow of ether, the habit of eons. Unlike eons ago, however, there was no brilliant shine to greet his side, but a wan, sickly glow, a guttering candle where once a single flame blazed. His face reflexively contorted in disgust. Why? Gathering in scattered thoughts, he finally remembered where he was, dozed off in the chair again. Oh, the joys of old age, your Radiance. It is the appointed hour. Wait. Who is that guy? The voice rumbled down right before him. He cast a blindly gaze towards the sound of a young man, tall and strapping and golden-haired. Golden-haired. Young man, tall and strapping. We are before the Alagans. Who do we know that is a blondie? Okay, this might be a stretch, but the soul of Azem is oozing yellow energy. Maybe that means that it is us. Regarding him anxiously, we will see. Though he was still well shy of his 20th name day, the C's which adorned his forehead added years to his grandson's. Grandson! Okay, you're laughing after that, but come on, okay? This body's grandson, he corrected. This body's grandson. Then he remembered the voice. Varis! What? Yo! Had been eager to report on his recent suppression of unrest in some forsaken province or another. Scarcely a matter warranting a formal audience, let alone rousing me for. Wait, so he's now in the body of Solus, yea, Galvus. Perhaps the boy had finally scraped together the courage to prowl about his accomplishments. Perhaps he was putting up to it by ambitious courtiers. Courtiers? Doesn't matter. Regardless, it was not but the feeble plodding of malformed creatures. Wearily, he hauled himself to his feet and shuffled past the youth towards the door. He had barely taken half a dozen steps, however, when Varis found his tongue. What is it about me that displeases you so? Interesting. He stopped at the unexpected address, casting a glance over his shoulder. He saw the boy wearing an expression of pure anguish, and at that moment he looked every bit as young as he was. To let his question spill forth, his frustration towards his grandsire must be great indeed. After a moment's pause, he replied with his breath, "Your body." What? The boy's face was a picture of confusion, but he offered him a word, not a word more, turning away and slowly taking his leap of the room. As he made his way to the audience chamber, a self-deprecating smile rose to his lips. Though Guardians are known for their large frames, the body he wore was by no means exceptional in that regard, nor was the... what? Nor that of the woman he took for his wife. Who did Emmet Salk fuck? Do we know who Varis' mother was? Yet their firstborn son was prodigiously tall and robust specimen, unprecedented even amongst his kind. As the boy grew, his physique was held in awe and admiration by all. Yeah, Varis was a Chad, okay? No, I don't think so. I see. Varis was a Giga Chad. Zenos, less so. Because Zenos was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Varis was actually... for a guy that was raised by Emmet Salk, which was not really Emmet Salk. Varis' mother is the wife of Solus' son. Oh, true. Okay, so the grandma of Varis. Because if Varis was raised by Solus Galvus, who was Emmet Salk, he did surprisingly well in comparison to how fucking Zenos turned out to be. Like, Zenos was a fucking prick. At the end, they were all just malformed creatures. Feeble, frail, and foolish. Rushing blindly about their fleeting fragmented lives, repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Yes! Preach, brother! Preach! Get the Ascians out! Yes! Never could they replace his brethren, yet in spite of himself, when he cradled the newborn in his arms and stroked that dawny hair, he could not help but hope. For what he could not be certain, but he hoped nonetheless. Unnamed weak Galvus, okay. Varis is Zenos, I see. Thank you for letting me know, Eagle Series. And hello, Kaine Kaiser. So he had hope, but he did not know why he had hope. Okay, Varis and Zenos were both pricks, just in a different way. Nah, I kind of love Varis because Varis had a big dick. Okay, Zenos has a small dick. Like he's like, oi, you defeat me. I'm gonna flame you on the forums. Quite literally, he wants to kill your friends. He literally wants to kill your friends. He wants to end the world just because he wants to get to you. You know? Nah. Zenos is just a fucking. He's a Redditor. Okay, like Zenos is a fucking Redditor. Varis is a guy. He's a Chad. It made little difference in the end, for his son had succumbed to some absurd illness and returned to the outer world long before his time, not without leaving behind a legacy, however, a living, breathing, and ever-present reminder of that momentary lapse. At length, his frail body brought him to his destination. Interesting. He paused before the door, took a deep breath, and shut his eyes tight as if to will away the din. And here we can see the throne of Garlemald. Varis is small compared to Solus. Yeah, but Solus was Emmet Selk. Varis was just a pleb. So he has big dick for someone that's just a pleb in comparison to the guy that's literally an unsundered one. Minority's existence hurts its ego. Listen. I'm not saying that he was perfect. But I will go out of my way to say that Zenos sucks dick. Fuck that guy. Yeah. He is a bit of a salty crybaby. I like this story. I like this extra that it's giving. Though I want to see that. When did I kill Zodiark? Hold up. This one. There we go. Yo.
Not quite the outcome you'd imagined, but a fitting one nonetheless.
This is braid. These are locks. No. Hold up. Locks of hair. No. I don't. Okay, so these are locks. Okay, this is probably an exaggerated version of locks, right? Maybe this? Okay, so it is him. It's him.
Don't you think so, Hades?
But if he says Hades, how can he be Hades while how can he be Hades if he talks to Hades? This might be. Is this edible? Locks of his hair is just falling from the top. Yeah. Wait, where is it? Unique red mask, and I think we do see a unique red mask in this fucking Cosmo, in this fucking area. Let me just. It was in here, right? Here. But there we go. One red mask. People in my comments said that it's not him. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's very, very dark in my screen as well. But yeah, it doesn't matter. This right here is what... There we go. You guys can see very, very many red masks. Look at his name and look at the dialogue box before the Ashen Souls gang up to you.
Forever.
World. Hold up. Yeah, whatever. His name is Familiar Stranger. And the dialogue box before the Ashen Souls gang up to me. I mean, look, it can't be the new old friend. It can't be Hythlodeaus because Hythlodeaus is outside. He's not. Actually, he is a projection. I don't think it's Hythlodeaus. I think it's either Emmet Selk or fucking Elidibus. But his name is Familiar Stranger. So it could be. It has to be someone that I know, right? It's not Lahabria. It's not Lahabria, okay? It can't be Lahabria. Because Lahabria would be like, fuck you. And he would have faded away, you know, because he never liked me, right? By the way, look at my genuine fucking expression down here, man. Smiley face.
For all to see.
Yo, dude! My guy, man! True. Yo.
Not quite the outcome you'd imagined, but a fitting one nonetheless.
Yes. Look at me losing my shit. I'm still losing my shit today. Don't you think so, Hades? Who is this guy talking to? Is it himself? Why would he talk to himself in the third person? Maybe he's weird. Maybe he's socially awkward, and that's why he believes in himself like this, and he mentions himself like that. Also, let's notice something. Solus Yay Galvus. This guy has a white part in his hair. Check this shit out. He has a white fucking thing, right? If this is a Metzalk, he has white hair. And here it's mentioned that he has white hair. Do you guys think that he kept his white hair as a reminder of his past? Or is this a stretch? Too much of a stretch? Do MSQ to find out. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? Yo, sup, Kenny Kaiser? Turn off. Turn off what? What's happening? Turn off? What do you mean, this guy? Before spoiler shit, I'm not checking out spoiler shit. I'm just checking out this motherfucker right here. I'm not looking at the other fucking things. Just googling NPCs now. Well, yeah. Is it a bad thing? We will check out the error curtain falls in the next stream. By the way, I'm not gonna read another fucking story. That's enough.